So they
Interesting.
take the wide receiver, they get another weapon for Lamar.
Well, I think that makes sense because we talk so much
It
about
is.
maybe they couldn't avoid the linebacker if he's there and falls to them. But sure, but they already addressed that. They have an okay defense. They need another weapon for Hollywood Brown. He's great on the one side, but you're just going to double cover him. He can't run routes as well as just be the deep threat. So you get somebody else who can do that dirty work and add space for the two of them. It'll help Lamar Jackson. They add a running back as well. They've hit every single need they've needed so far in this draft. They're the only team that has hit every single need and really the best that they could do with their positioning. So I think this is a great pick. I think this is the pick they had to make. I think linebacker would have been that pick they couldn't avoid because they're the Ravens and they love solid linebackers. But unlike New England, they realized they didn't really need one. They wouldn't have had a fit for one, and they get more help. They not only protect Lamar Jackson, they add weapons for Lamar Jackson, plus shore up the defense that can get off the field. The Ravens right now are looking like the Super Bowl favorite.
Well, the other thing, too, is adding Duvernay. I mean, they have one of the fastest receiving cores. I mean, definitely in the AFC North, but, in the NFL. Because Duvernay has track speed. I mean, he's a 100-meter state champion in Texas out of high school.
Right.
Obviously, have Hollywood Brown as well, who is one of the fastest players in the NFL. We knew that coming in. So, they got a guy on the outside who's a burner. They got a guy in the slot now, and Duvernay who's a burner as well. So that's some serious speed in that receiving core for the Ravens.
And it's going to make it so much easier on Lamar Jackson, who obviously already coming off an MVP season, that it's about longevity and him staying healthy. But if he can, and certainly for next year, any issues, he can dump it off to running back. Any issues, he can dump it off to any of these guys who are going to find a spot and get open. They can go big play every other down. They're going to maybe throw a couple runs or maybe some short passes and then try to go deep every other possession. They got a solid unit, to say the least, and the Ravens are certainly the winner of this draft the same way Miami is the biggest loser right now. Tennessee now on the clock here at 93. They've been a team we've thought has done well in this draft. Many of us have said the Titans are kind of a sleeper A or B plus grade so far in the draft.
Yeah, I'm a little interested in Duvernay as opposed to Darnell Mooney, who are both two guys that really ran well at the combine. Nick, where did you have?
Harbaugh's really happy. He pumped his fist there on that draft pick.
I had Duvernay over Mooney for what it's worth. I think Duvernay a little bit better after the catch. Mooney is a little bit better of a route runner because Duvernay's really stiff. He's fast but not good laterally. But he's going to be a guy that you get a lot of manufactured touches to on screens. He's a bowling ball, built like a running back, kind of a Deebo Samuel light after the catch in a lot of ways. So I love the pick for the Ravens. It's very good value. The Ravens have a loaded team, very, very loaded team. Not going to be fun to face them next year twice.
And they got better, and they didn't need to get better as much either.
I don't even know. And the thing is, the crazy thing is they might not even be the best team in the AFC because the Chiefs. so it's tough. I mean, the Steelers, I don't think people are going to realize how tough the AFC North is going to be next year because I think the Bengals are going to be improved with Joe Burrow.
Right.
They get Jonah Williams back as a left tackle. The Browns now have tackles, and they're hitting all across the board elsewhere.
Yeah. For years, you at least would half your wins off of those games in the division. That's not the case this year.
Yeah, now the Ravens are good. And, I mean, the Steelers themselves are getting better at too. I mean, not many defenses are going to want to face that wide receiving core with Ebron and Connor. I mean, it's not going to be fun for them to face the Steelers either, especially with that defense. So,
and someone out of those four teams is probably going to be a very, very good 6 or 7 win club. I mean, just mathematically, someone's going to end up last and win only 7 games or 8 and 8 at the most, and just way it'll break down. And that team is probably going to be pretty damn solid. It might be one of the better divisions in football, and even 2 years ago, it was one of the worst divisions in football and incredibly top-heavy.
Yeah, I think you're going to see 2 teams for sure out of the AFC North, especially with the expanded playoff system now.
Right? Maybe.
I think it depends on how much they beat each other up, right? I mean, on one hand, you can totally envision a scenario where they all go 9-7 because they all lose a bunch of games to each other. Everybody ends up 3-3 in the division.
Which is a major difference in terms of playoff positioning, and because of the new format, the seeding is going to even be a bigger deal. So you don't want to have to play an extra game. You want to try to get a bye week. The Chiefs are going to be in a much better position in their division. Not only are they an equally great team and they're the champion, but the Broncos aren't ready yet. The Chargers have talent, but they always screw it up. The Raiders aren't ready yet. They got the division on lock just basically by showing up. There's no way they're not going to win it. That's not going to be the case for anyone out of the AFC North. They're going to be fighting for positioning or even getting in. And that bye is taking place in Kansas City, and then everyone's going to fall in line. And if you're the third seed versus a 1 or 2, it's a big difference now with this new format, which will be an argument for another day.